You would think at 31 and predominantly single for a large majority of my adult life, I'd be better at flirting with men. So I was just at the gym and this man stands next to me. He's doing bicep curls and he's a relatively handsome human. He's not like so gorgeous that I'm intimidated, and let's be honest, not a whole lot of men intimidate me as it is, but like age appropriate, if we're on similar playing fields. What do? I look at the weight that he's curling. I wait until he takes his headphone out and I say, you can do more. I fear I'm gonna die alone.
She says that not a whole lot of men intimidate her, but she approaches a man she clearly finds incredibly attractive. She's obviously trying to downplay it by saying that he was a relatively attractive human, which means that this guy was significantly above average in the looks department. The problem is she's 31 and assumes that somehow that makes her experienced, but it's really the opposite. If a woman is 31 years old and still single, there is a reason why, and it's living proof of her complete lack of relationship experience. It's just a massive red flag. Even when she tries to shoot her shot, all that comes out of her mouth was just gibberish, as if telling a man that he should add more weight onto his sets is supposed to be a smooth pickup line. It just comes off as annoying, honestly, and sounds a little mean as well. And this is made worse when modern women made it clear that men are not to approach with them at the gym, right? But they don't hold themselves to the same standard, because women like this think the gym is nothing short of a meat market, apparently. We have got some ridiculous videos for you here today. Compliments of Locke the Bounty Hunter. I don't even know how to describe any of these really, so let's just jump right into the nonsense.
I just got home from walking my dog, and a man while out on my walk asked me on a date. Like, he stopped me. So I had my headphones on, and he goes, "Oh, hey, sorry, excuse me. I wanted to, let you know that I think you're really beautiful and was curious, like, if you're available and would like to go on a date, like, to get dinner sometime." And I was like, "Oh, that's really kind of you. That's really sweet. But I'm not really." And he goes, "Oh, you're not available." And I said, "Well, no, I am. I'm just not in the place where I'm dating right now because I'm just really busy. I just don't have the time to invest in it." And he was really kind and very respectful. Like, he was like, "Wow, I definitely respect that. Like, I totally hear you on it." And he's like, "Well, maybe sometime, like, in the future down the line." And I was like, "Yeah, if the universe ever puts us in contact again and it's the right time, like, I'm down." And then we, like, introduced ourselves and kind of went on our merry way.
This woman is trying to instruct men on how to approach women, which, by the way, screw that. And she tells this story where a dude approaches her and she still rejects him. I mean, we all know that these modern women tend to have a flair for the dramatic when it comes to these stories, and most of the time they're either incredibly out of context or just outright lies, and this one just makes no sense. Men don't normally approach middle-aged women in the street to compliment them and ask them out on a date, especially when the consequences of doing so in today's day and age is just far too damn high. But once again, regardless if the story is true or not, it doesn't matter because she still rejected him anyway. And when modern women say this kind of garbage, they honestly think that men are listening, as if we're taking notes on how they want to be approached. Be respectful, but don't be creepy. Be confident, but don't be aggressive. Be nice, but don't be a pushover. It's all of these rules within rules that don't even matter because it's all gibberish. The rule for approaching modern women is simple. If she doesn't find you physically attractive, then don't bother. Because at the end of the day, these women aren't going to take the vast majority of men seriously anyway. Hey, just a second. If you are liking this video, you like my content, make sure you check out my second channel. The link is in the pinned comment. Go and take a look after this video if you are interested. And let's get back to the video.
He wasn't creepy about it. He didn't fight back on it. He didn't linger. Like, it was really kind and respectful. And this is how men should be asking women out in 2026. You should respect women's boundaries, respect when someone says no, and still be kind and move on. You put yourself out there, which is great. It's vulnerable. It's hard. But the worst thing that someone can ever do to you is say no, and it's not going to kill you. So just be kind and be respectful. Like, this interaction was so nice. I respect that man a lot. I get a lot of kudos to the guy that worked in this white truck on the corner of a street that I'm not going to name because I'm not going to be creepy. But yeah, so cheers.
This is how we know that this woman's story is mostly, if not completely fake. When she says the worst thing that can happen is that she says no, that makes it obvious that she's not approached that often. It's a cry for attention, and it's as plain as day. Modern women set the rules for approaching, and if those rules were broken by men, the women made it clear. Nothing is off the table. Humiliation, being put on blast, false claims, police, they're all used in the event that the wrong man approaches them. But she tries to gaslight men out there by saying that being rejected is no big deal, and a man should just accept it because, hey, why the hell not? Which just makes things all the more frustrating because even when women like this say that crap, there's an even more insulting undertone here, okay? She tries to paint men as either creepy, violent, or making women uncomfortable by default, as if a man gets rejected, it just sends him into like a blind rage or something that makes her feel unsafe. And when women talk like this, it's not actually helpful. It's just yet another excuse to pointlessly talk down to men. Men are not afraid of approaching women, nor are we afraid of rejection. Women like this are simply not worth the time, so men don't approach them. It's as simple as that.
If you want to be my boyfriend, just fucking say that. If you want to be my boyfriend, just say that. Okay? All right.
Chad is not going to be making this woman his girlfriend. That's what this is about. She wants the man she's attracted to commit to her, and that's just never going to happen. Men like that have options, and she is not one of them. That's why they keep falling into these absurd situationships, and they can't figure out why men don't want to take them seriously.
Most of the stuff you see on this app about post-grad life is BS. I graduated college 6 months ago, which is absolutely insane to say, but I feel like my expectations for what life was going to be like after college was vastly different than what it's actually been like. I did everything I thought I was supposed to do for post-grad. I moved to a new city with my long-term boyfriend. I got a full-time job. And I feel like because I did all those things, I kind of had this expectation that, life was going to be super steady and stable, and somehow I'd like mentally age 10 years and I just feel so grown up, and I'd be like meal prepping every Sunday. And I have been doing none of those things. The transition into adulthood is not easy. Like, you literally just feel like a 22-year-old adult just like thrown into the real world.
College does not prepare people for the real world. With the exception of fields that require higher education, there are countless degree programs out there that do nothing to better women like this at all. They think that going to college is somehow going to magically turn them into adults, even though they are living in a fantasy world most of the time. And to make matters worse, modern women are already oftentimes behaving like children in adult bodies. So it's come to the point where they think their degree makes them grown-ups, and it's never really worked that way. But women like this just take it to a whole nother level. They watch TV shows about boss babe women, follow influencers who document every waking aspect of their day-to-day routines, and they think that is somehow an accurate representation of real life, and they just magically expect those very same things to happen to them. That's not how the real world works at all. It never has, but she is so far off the deep end, it took her 6 months to realize that life isn't social media. But anyway, guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out. Click this video that's up on the screen now if you want to see more. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.